Zyn has become the fastest growing tobacco product in history, and while it might seem innocent at first glance, that is precisely what they want you to think. Owned by the biggest cigarette company in the world, the consequences of Zyn are far more sinister than anyone realizes. But how did the smallest Scandinavian company become a billion-dollar tobacco conglomerate? With cigarette sales in the US plummeting in the 2000s, the once mighty tobacco giants found themselves at a crossroad. The societal shift towards health consciousness, coupled with aggressive anti-smoking campaigns, had severely dimmed at their revenues. The golden age of cigarettes was over. Desperation began to creep in as these companies faced the stark reality of a shrinking market. In their quest for a savior, they cast their gaze upon a small but rapidly growing phenomenon in Scandinavia: nicotine pouches, specifically a product called Zyn. Determined to not repeat past mistakes, they would make sure that the negative health effects of Zyn remained unnoticed.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
Zyn, produced by a relatively obscure Scandinavian company, offered a smokeless, spit-free alternative to traditional tobacco products. If discreet usage combined with an array of appealing flavors quickly made it a favorite among European consumers. Observing its soaring popularity, the American tobacco behemoths saw an opportunity. Here was a product that could bypass smoking bans, appeal to the health-conscious demographic, and potentially rejuvenate their declining fortunes. In a bold move, one of the largest cigarette companies in the world decided to acquire Zyn for staggering $16 billion. This acquisition was not just a business transaction, but a strategic pivot aimed at capturing the youth market in the United States. New owners recognized that to succeed, they needed to rebrand Zyn, making it trendy and desirable to a new generation of consumers. Marketing campaigns that followed were nothing short of ingenious, leveraging social media influencers, sponsoring music festivals, and employing sleek, youthful advertising.
This is Matt's first Zyn, by the way. And it's a 6 milligram. That's a heavy dose.
Zyn was positioned as the cool, modern alternative to smoking. The product's design, small, colorful pouches that could easily be carried and used discreetly, only added to its allure. Influential figures like Joe Rogan featured Zyn on their platforms, and personalities like Tucker Carlson promoted it, raising questions about whether these endorsements were sponsored.
I don't know what this is, it's just someone put it in my pocket. Zyn is a life-saving medical product that...
This ambiguity played perfectly into the tobacco giant's plan to subtly integrate Zyn into mainstream culture. Within a short period, Zyn became the fastest growing tobacco product in history, seemingly innocent and widely accepted. However, beneath this veneer of innocence lay a dark reality. The nicotine pouches, while marketed as a safer alternative to smoking, carried their own set of health risks. Nicotine, a highly addictive substance, remained the central ingredient. The ease of use and attractive flavors masked the potential for dependency, particularly among young users. Critics argued that the tobacco giants merely had found a new method to ensnare consumers, exploiting the same addictive properties that made cigarettes so lucrative. The seemingly benign image of Zyn was a calculated facade designed to obscure the potential long-term health consequences and to ensure a steady influx of new users who might otherwise avoid traditional smoking. Philip Morris, the parent company of Zyn, is anything but innocent. Their history is a chilling testament to the ruthless pursuit of profit at the expense of human health. Now part of Altria Group, Philip Morris has spent decades deceiving the public about the dangers of their products and exploiting addiction to ensure their products permeate society. For the mid-20th century, Philip Morris launched massive disinformation campaigns to obscure smoking's deadly risks.
Have they been proved to be safe, Mr. Coleman?
I believe they have not been proved to be unsafe. It's true. The babies born from women who smoke are smaller, but they're just as healthy as the babies born from women who do not smoke.
They aggressively fought the truth, funding dubious research and creating front groups to spread misinformation and delay public health measures. This cold, calculated deception resulted in millions of preventable deaths worldwide. One of the most immediate and distressing consequences is the damage to your gums. Regular use of nicotine pouches like Zyn can lead to severe gum irritation, characterized by a persistent burning sensation. This is more than just a minor discomfort, it's a sign of your gums screaming for help. The potent nicotine content in Zyn acts like a corrosive agent, attacking the delicate tissues of your gums. Over time, this relentless assault can cause your gums to recede, pulling back from your teeth and exposing the sensitive roots. This exposure not only heightens sensitivity, but also sets the stage for further complications. With receding gums, the risk of developing gum disease skyrockets. Gum disease is not just a dental issue. It's a chronic inflammatory condition that can lead to painful infections, abscesses, and the eventual destruction of the tissues and bone that support your teeth. In extreme cases, this can result in tooth loss, leaving you with gaps that are not only ugly but also debilitating. Beyond the mouth, because that influx of nicotine into your system can wreak havoc on your overall health. Nicotine is a powerful vasoconstrictor, meaning it narrows your blood vessels. This effect on your circulatory system is far from harmless. The narrowing of blood vessels forces your heart to work harder, leading to increased blood pressure and heart rate. Over time, this heightened strain can contribute to the development of cardiovascular diseases, including heart attacks and strokes. These conditions are not only life-threatening, but also often result in long-term disability and a significant reduction in quality of life. But perhaps the most insidious aspect of Zyn is its potential to hook a new generation on nicotine. The trending marketing campaigns are not just about making Zyn seem cool, they're about creating lifelong consumers. By positioning the product as a safer alternative to smoking, big tobacco companies are exploiting the health-conscious mindset of today's youth, luring them into a new form of addiction. Once hooked, these young users may find themselves struggling to quit, just as previous generations did with cigarettes. It's important to note that the nicotine in Zyn still comes from tobacco. This isn't some lab-created synthetic substance. It's derived from the same tobacco plants that have been exploited for centuries, and the methods used to cultivate and harvest this tobacco are far from ethical. In many regions, the tobacco industry relies on exploitative labor practices, including child labor and modern-day slavery. Workers in tobacco fields often face grueling conditions, exposure to toxic chemicals, and meager wages, all to produce the nicotine that ends up in products like Zyn. The rise of Zyn represents a chilling continuation of Big Tobacco's legacy of exploitation and addiction. The very same companies that once dominated the cigarette market are now employing similar tactics to push nicotine pouches. They're leveraging their vast resources to create a new generation of nicotine-dependent consumers, all while maintaining the facade of a progressive health-conscious brand. Zyn's appeal lies in its convenience and perceived safety. No smoke, no smell, no public bans, but this convenience hides a terrible cost. Nicotine, regardless of its delivery method, remains highly addictive. The ease of discreet use allows for constant nicotine intake, reinforcing addiction without the stigma of smoking. Big Tobacco's masterstroke lies in targeting youth. By making nicotine pouches trendy and modern, they're grooming a new generation of consumers. This is not just marketing, it's psychological warfare aimed at normalizing nicotine use and ensuring lifelong dependency. The health risk of nicotine pouches are still emerging, but what we know is alarming. Beyond cardiovascular issues and gum disease, the psychological grip of addiction is profound. The anxiety of withdrawal, the constant need for a fix, these are the silent, crippling aspects of nicotine dependence.
Meet Chandler, a 22-year-old man whose family worries that he's addicted to Zyns.
Behind Zyn's modern facade lies a story of exploitation. The nicotine in these pouches is sourced from tobacco funds plagued by unethical labor practices, including child labor. The shiny, appealing image of Zyn conceals a legacy of human suffering and injustice. In the end, Zyn is not a revolution, but a rebranding. As a wolf in sheep's clothing, a new form of the same old addiction, and Big Tobacco is here to make billions yet again.